Let's start from this question. Do you know which is the most accessible, easy, and most of the times inexpensive way to elevate your writing experience? Ding, 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 paper. Bingo. Yes, good quality paper. As always, welcome back to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host Aaron from Penventure. Welcome to a new video in which I'm going to showcase with you all what recently have been showcased in our stationery category on the Penventure website. Because we like to research, do our homework, and find the very interesting things that you may want to have along with your precious writing instruments. And good quality paper is exactly what you will need in order to elevate your writing experience to a whole new level. I get asked a lot of times, Emmy, my fountain pen writes like this or like that. What can I do to make it write better? Well, besides the normal nib checks, nib adjustments and everything, if you have a fountain pen which writes good, if you want to see a lot more performance and to feel differently, the only thing that I can advise you to upgrade to, it's a very good quality paper. A fountain pen writes on a cheap copy paper much more different than it does on a fountain pen friendly paper. And don't get me wrong, this kind of a paper is not only made for fountain pens, it's made with great care, with great attention, with a specific formula. It has specific coatings on top of it, and it makes it a great paper, not only for fountain pens. And you will see just that in just a few moments. Anyway, we just went and searched for the very best paper for all of you. Primarily, this kind of a paper comes from Japan. And we did something incredible. We went and picked the very best paper that we could get a hold on, and we brought it for all of you. Today, I'm going to showcase a paper which is called Iroful. This Iroful paper is incredible, and I'm going to show you how incredible it is. I'm going to show you what are the characteristics of it, in which format it's available on our website, and also what sets it apart from different papers. And you will see by the end of it, if you're not convinced that you can elevate your writing experience to a whole new level, by the end of this video, I'm pretty sure you're going to go on our website and proceed in trying this paper. I have some samples with me here, both in all sorts of formats, and also I will showcase each format, how it's available on our website. But first of all, you need to understand that the maker of this paper is the same maker which makes Tomoe River paper in Japan. In my opinion, one of the best papers. But I can tell you that now, from trying different papers after we expanded our entire stationery series, and I got to try like 5 or 6 types of paper, I have to say that not only Tomoe River paper is the paper that I found to be very pleasant. There are more and more options like this Iroful paper that are just simply catching up with the Tomoe River paper, in my opinion, in regards of the quality and the presentation. And you will see something incredible in regards of this specific Iroful paper. And we have here some loose sheets from Iroful, Sakai Technical Paper, CEO Ltd, Japan. So this is made in Japan. Something like this is designed exclusively for writing instruments. And when I say writing instruments, I mean that it's a paper which is made with great care by a specific formula. It's cut perfectly. Each specific sheet of paper, it's coated. It is designed for writing instruments. And you have here, write, draw, unleash the brilliance of color. The feel of gliding with all vibrance and subtlety of your ink colors distinctly expressed. Well, it's a long statement, but this paper has something super special in regards of the way it portrays the ink colors. And you will see that in just a few moments, because I picked some of the best and most interesting ink colors in my collection to showcase them with you all on this paper. And also, there is a sample next to a Rhodia paper. Exactly the same ink on both papers. Let's start with the formats in which such a paper is available. And I'm going to start first with the loose sheets. In loose sheet format from Iroful, we have this 3 A4 presentation packs, and we have something like this 5mm grid, 50 sheets, 75 grams. It's a paper which is not too thin like Tomoe River paper. If you ask me, I love the 52 GSM from Tomoe River paper. Then there is the 68 GSM from Tomoe River paper. Again, something a little bit more thicker. I often use 68 GSM as a paper, but this is 75 GSM. So it's a little bit thicker than the 68 from Tomoe River paper. GSM, that means grams per square meter. This is a paper which is robust. You can very easy use it in your notebooks, and it's more resilient. So if you have like a 52 GSM paper from Tomoe River paper, you can see that is very thin. It is very light, it's gentle. It's not the type of a paper that you may use if you like to have a little bit more robust of a feeling when you have a fountain pen on this paper. So we have this one, which is grid. And right here, it's one side, made in Japan, exhibiting grid pattern on only one side. It's not two sides, but you will see in just a few moments such a sample. Then we have the plain, again, same thing, 50 sheets, 75 GSM, made in Japan, and the dots again, 5mm dot grid. 50 sheets, 75 GSM, great quality, A4, so this is a little bit larger. Then we have the A5s in different formats, and we have plain 100 sheets, 75 grams. Then we have 5mm dot grid, 100 sheets, again one side, and this is not two sides. Then we have 5mm grid. Then we have 7mm ruled, so this is great paper for your greeting cards, and write some thoughts on such a paper, and then you would fold it. A5 is perfect for that. Or if you want to use it as a letter to put it inside an envelope, this is just perfect. It's lined, so it will keep your writing straight and everything. And last we have this, which is horizontal, 7mm new sub dot grid, 100 sheets. Again, great formats. If you ask me, I just like this more than the A4. And last but not least, the ones that I personally like and own in my lineup of paper, it's this brilliant notebooks. We have here a A5 75 grams 5mm grid, 96 pages, and then we have the same 96 pages as dot, then we have as blank, and also as a dot grid we have 160 pages. Let's proceed and showcase how such a notebook is bind. I hope this is visible. Right here you can see it. It's a combination of stitch bound, I think, and there is this cover which is glued on top, but a great notebook. Like, this is laying flat, like super flat. And this is great for when you write with a fountain pen, because actually the nib, when it reaches this part right here at the edge of the page, you would need to get your hand like this and to write, and most of the times that is just blank space. You don't write on it and you actually lose that specific part. How it's bound, you actually can write from this end all the way up to this end, and you don't need to stop. I just love this paper. It's not white, although the paper color is stated as being white, printing color indigo. So the small little dots are indigo, and again with the grid pattern with the lines, this is not your white normal paper, because I have like a dot pad from Rhodia, which is also marked white. And have a look at this. So this is the Rhodia white, and this is the white from Iroful. Different white, maybe a little bit more creamier white than the normal Rhodia dot pad white. This is the Iroful notebook and how it looks and how it is. Do you want to see a sample and to describe each specific ink and fountain pen and nib size, and to see what makes this paper so brilliant? This incredible sample. We have an almost extra fine nib, diamine eau de Nil, Coned fine nib, Iroshizuku Shinkai, Visconti Medium Nib, Waterman Absolute Brown, Sailor 100 Years Anniversary Broad Nib, inked with Sailor Chigaya Magno Black, and a Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age Stub 1.3 millimeter. Then we have right here a flex nib on this paper, retro ballpoint pen, retro roller, retro pencil. And right here we have some swabs for some incredible inks. We have here one of the most rarest inks that you can find, and that is the Parker Penman Sapphire. I have a bottle of such an ink, and I just wanted to see how it looks on a paper which brings so much color, so much depth, so much incredible things that some papers just simply don't show off. Continuing, we have Herbin Emerald de Chevaux, and then we have my exclusive ink, Diamine Desert Rose. If we turn the page like this, you can see that this paper, it's incredible when it comes to ghosting, feathering, bleed through, anything. So on the back of it, you can clearly see that as much ink as we put on such a paper, it's going to take that in so well, but it's going to keep it at the surface. So this is the back of the paper. As you can clearly see, there is no see-through, a little bit here, which is the swabs, but no one will write with such a wet ink because this is taken with a Q-tip and it's put in large amount of ink. And right here we have a Rhodia paper. Before going to the front, let me show you a side-by-side, and you can clearly see that for the swabs there is a lot of see-through and bleed through on this specific paper. And not only that, have a look at here, this is the Retro 51 roller. It's completely visible, and this is how much a Rhodia paper can cope with so much ink. So let me show you a side-by-side when it comes to these two papers. And right here on the left we have the Iroful, on the right we have the Rhodia. Have a look at the same writing instruments on both papers. On the left we have a lot of color, a lot of vibrancy, a lot of details and everything. If we continue towards the swabs, you can clearly see that for the Penman Sapphire Parker ink, Iroful paper brings the most incredible sheen. On the Rhodia, basically no sheen at all. For Herbin Emerald de Chevaux, we have a lot of sheen and also shimmering. On the Rhodia paper, we only have shimmer. There is no sheen whatsoever. On a sheen monster like Desert Rose, our exclusive, which has added sheen and everything that's going to bring out the sheen aspect of the ink. On the Rhodia, we have some sheen, but again, it's not as vibrant and as delightful as you may have it on a paper like this one, which is the Iroful one. If I would have to compare these two papers, I find the Iroful paper to be very delightful. It's smooth, it's interesting, it's possibly a notch up in regards of the smoothness than Tomoe River paper. I can see myself trying something like this soon, and just simply having a notebook and passing on my thoughts in daily journaling for 160 pages on a dotted one for the next period of time, and to just experience most of my nibs and my inks on that specific paper. And again, at the end, I will assess and see if I'm going to change to something like this. But anyway, it's a paper which exhibits more qualities in regards of the color of the ink. So this would be perfect for you if you want to experience some of the most interesting things that you have in ink color. So if you want to have fun and see the new dimension in regards of the colors in your inks that you have not seen by now, if you didn't use a paper like Iroful, this is something that you may want to try. If you draw, this paper is perfect for you. It will bring so much wow factor in each of your inks that it's incredible. The actual feeling of it when you take a writing instrument and put it on such a paper, it just simply glides. It's made to feel smooth. And to be honest, if I would have to compare the smoothness of such a paper with a nib writing instrument like a fountain pen on Iroful and on Rhodia, it's just evident. It's more smoother on Iroful paper. But it's funny, when you use a roller pen like a Retro 51 roller like this one, it's night and day. I mean, it's night and day. It's 100 times more smoother, more delightful, more tasteful when you have such a roller pen on such a paper. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. Or if you have this paper, you already know. If you took a roller pen to such a paper, it's night and day. You will love it. Also, it feels like it's not as dry. So for me, Rhodia, it feels like it's a dry paper. I don't know what it is regarding it. Possibly it's the fibrous structure at the surface for the paper, but it feels like a rigid, dry paper. Iroful feels like a smooth, wet paper. And this is evident for each writing instrument. Like if you even use a Sharpie, let me have a look. I hope that microphone picks it up, and then it's smoother. Even with a Sharpie pen, it's much more smoother on a paper like Iroful than a Rhodia paper. And now let's circle back to the question in the beginning of the video. Now you know how to elevate your writing experience to a new level using something like this paper. Thank you very much. Every single item that I showed you is available on our website. We brought a lot of them in our inventory. I'm going to leave you a link down below. You can head there and you can navigate this selection of Iroful paper. And in the next videos, I'm going to showcase more of this interesting papers that we've brought in our inventory. But we're going to start first with Iroful because that is the one that simply stood out so much more. Let me know if you have any other questions. Use the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for sticking around so much time with us. If you find our content interesting and useful, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. This will help us a lot with the YouTube algorithm and everything else. Don't forget to support the growth of the PenVenture YouTube channel. It's very easy. If you're not subscribed, click there, turn the notification bell on, and you will be notified whenever we have new content. Speaking about content, if you want to continue watching my previous videos, I'm leaving this right here. You can click and enjoy. As always, I'm your host from PenVenture. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.